Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's good to have you back with us at Somaliland National Television. You're tuned into the English news program with me, Adam Mohammed Osman. Let's take a look at the main stories making the headlines. Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources holds transfer of responsibility ceremony. Rehabilitation projects undertaken at various schools across the capital Hargeisa. Egypt's army takes control but denies military coup. A ceremonial event was held in the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa, designed to express a welcoming for the newly appointed Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, while elaborating on the achievements of the former minister, who recently transferred responsibilities. The former Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Abdullahi Osman Gelchire, took great lengths to express various approaches of his achievements during his term in office, as well as the cooperation of ministry staff to further the services of the ministry to the public. The ex-Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Abdullahi Osman Gelchire, confirmed that he presided over a period of rapid growth on the exploitation of the national maritime resources, which generated unprecedented levels of rise of income. The newly designated Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Ali Chama Bured, emphasizes on his aim of performing essential duties to the nation and focusing on increasing citizens' dependence on maritime resources. The Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Ali Chama Bured, applauded the efforts of the former minister regarding the improvements to public service and pledged to boost the nation with providing training programs on maritime resource utilization. The Minister of Information, Culture and National Guidance, Abdullahi Mohammed Tahir Akuse, spoke at the ceremony on the behalf of the ministers present and reiterated the vital role the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources should play in regards to youth employment, as well as income growth regarding the extensiveness of maritime resources in Somaliland. Other recognizable members, most notably the Commander of the Coastal Guards and the Head of the Anti-Piracy Commission, spoke at the event and corroborated the meaning of benefiting the national maritime resources. The event concluded with providing appreciation certificates to Abdullahi Osman Gelchire with the intention of praising his performance as the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Minister of Education and Higher Studies, Samsam Abdi Aden, attended the completion of an event construction of Bailey Shira Primary School in the Marodi Cheh region. The event hosted government dignitaries, cultural leaders, educational service providers, and Minister of Education Samsi Abdi Aden spoke regarding the importance of stretching the reach or capacity of public schools. Minister of Education and Higher Studies Samsam Abdi Aden addressed the significance of stretching the reach of public schools through remote areas of the nation, while mentioning the eligibility of every individual citizen for education regardless of their whereabouts. Somaliland Minister of Education and Higher Studies Samsam Abdi Aden stressed the importance of constructing schools for residents of various areas. Cultural leaders also spoke at the event and expressed their admiration for the opening of this new school, where they praised the efforts of the Minister of Education and her efforts towards maintaining national education in rural and urban residences. The cultural leaders dwelt at length on the necessity of acquiring well-educated students as part of national development. Other notable figures speaking at the event complimented the Ministry of Education for enhancing the capacity of education nationwide, as well as dedicating the maintenance of education along with considering the eligibility of rural residents to education. Mercy Corps exhibited rehabilitated offices and classrooms at various schools across the capital Hargeisa, which representatives of the Ministry of Education and Higher Studies were in attendance for. The Director General of the Ministry of Education and Higher Studies announced that this would aim to extend the capacity and performance of public schools across the capital. In an event designed to exhibit to the public the newly rehabilitated classes and offices at various public schools and took place in the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa, for the Ministry of Education and Higher Studies, the Director General of the Ministry, Mohammed Hassan, spoke at the event, reiterating the significance of taking part in rehabilitation and establishing public school buildings in order to convincingly serve the nation with providing quality education for children nationwide, those otherwise incapable of joining schools because of restricted circumstances. He praised Mercy Corps for conclusively cooperating with the Ministry of Education and Higher Studies, as well as bringing success to the previous rehabilitated projects before that. Project Manager of Mercy Corps, Jamal Ismail, indicated the significance of extending the capacity and performance of public schools throughout Somaliland, while similarly increasing the number of students joining public schools annually. He also appreciated the engineers involved in the project for their excellence, performance and perseverance they portrayed in the completion of this project. Nonetheless, Mercy Corps has recently implemented various rehabilitation projects at a number of government-subsidized schools nationwide, aiming at extending the capacity of schools while enhancing the service to others. Darul Ulum School for Islamic Studies and Quran Memorization held a ceremony in the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa, aimed at commemorating students who ended a course of memorizing the Quran. Islamic scholars and responsible parents for those students spoke at the event, underlying the necessity to eradicate illiteracy from the Islamic religion as well as the Quran. An event commemorating graduating students of Quran studies took place at Darul Ulum School for Islamic Studies in the capital's Hargeisa. Islamic scholars speaking at the event expressed appreciation for the reliability of those students who graduated from Quranic studies, keen to remind the participants of the necessity of emphasizing Quran memorization as well as the significance of reducing illiteracy in Islam. Reliable parents of the graduating students commemorated the efforts of Islamic scholars involved in producing young intellectuals and Quran memorized students, as well as enshrining the minds of children with the love of exerting study for Islam. Other notable figures spoke about the relevance of ensuring reduction in illiteracy in Islam, focusing on cooperation among various Islamic scholars residing in the nation and the government to stiffly develop youth and elderly people's awareness on the significance of dedicating themselves to Islamic studies rather than emphasizing on fields of studies. The event to Islamic studies rather than emphasizing on fields of studies. The event concluded with the students being provided certificates of achievement. You're still tuned into the English news program on Somaliland National Television, the only Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for our international headlines in detail. Bolivian President Evo Morales touched down in La Paz to a hero's welcome after his plane from Russia was diverted to Vienna on suspicion that the US fugitive Edward Snowden was on board. Outraged Morales told supporters who gathered at the airport to greet him, "I regret this, but I want to say that some European countries should free themselves from an American imperialization. I can't understand why some countries are faithful servants to this US imperialism." Russia's foreign ministry criticized France, Spain and Portugal for refusing to let Morales enter their airspace, adding that there had been no evidence that Snowden was on board, the Bolivian leaders claimed. Chief Justice Aledi Mansour, the president of Egypt's Supreme Constitutional Court, has been sworn in as the country's leader following the removal of President Mohamed Morsi by military on Wednesday. Mansour said fresh parliamentary and presidential elections will be held, but gave no date. To supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood group, allies of Morsi, Mansour promised that they would play a part in the future of the country despite the fact that Morsi himself was overthrown. Mansour said the Muslim Brotherhood were part of the people and that they were welcome to build the nation. The new leader also praised mass street protests that led to Morsi's overthrow, saying that Egypt had corrected the path of its glorious revolution. The armed forces' removal of Morsi from power on Wednesday night and suspended the constitution just over a year after he was elected as Egypt's first ballot post-Hosni Mubarak era president. Millions have been celebrating across Egypt hours since Morsi had been removed, but this has been seen as divisive. And that's all the news we have for you today. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.